Yes, people, hope you're all good. Welcome back to a new video. This video is a live trading video, so I've just entered a position on Euro US dollar, and I quickly want to break down the reason for the trade and obviously the evidence for being in it too. So, first of all, I want to start by showing you the actual chart. This is the trade itself. I'll just show you the proof that I'm in it and what I'm risking on it. So, it is on an FTMO account. I am risking $1,000 on this position. So what I'm going to do is I've obviously got my pre-stop loss set and my risk as well. My risk always stays at $1,000 just because it's what I've always done and it's obviously good for the mental. So why am I in this position? First of all, I want to break down the dollar. So the dollar is the reason I am in this trade. It's a little bit aggressive. I'm going to be completely honest with you. But again, I'm going to break down the reasonings for it now. So the dollar itself, I was expecting this morning, because when price was down here, that price was going to come back up into the 103 area before giving me a reaction to the downside. So this price was actually reached with the news coming out for the dollar. We had initial jobless claims and retail sales, and that has caused the dollar to surge. It did actually then push up into the area where it did actually push through. Now, it pushed through, but none of my currency pairs were actually at the levels I wanted them to be. So I've actually ended up getting into the position late because nothing lined up. So once price was kind of pushing through and in this area, my next step was to look at my currency pairs. For me, the best currency pair which lined up was this Euro US dollar position here. Very simple reasoning for the trade. This was a position from last week, which you conceded 7.5 to 1. You would still be open with a runner, but obviously that's not what this video is about. The reason for this trade, we had a nice break and retest of this key level. You can go further left if you want to include that as well. So support resistance level, key level, whatever you want to call it. We also had a Fibonacci move on the downside, and the 61 fib lined up with our key level. And if we look to the right hand side, we also had the 109.50 psychological round number. So if you can see when news comes out, news usually will push down heavily into a level. This is pushed it heavily down into this level, and price has started to slow down. This doesn't necessarily mean that this trade is going to win, but the reasoning is there, and obviously all we can do now is wait and see. Due to it being off the back end of news, I am actually going break even at 10 pips in profit, and my TP1 is going to be 20 pips in profit, which would be there. So this is my plan. If I get rid of the fib, I'm going to hopefully go break even here, and then I'm going to obviously put my stop loss break even there, and then hopefully then price can push up and hit the take profit area, but we will see. The whole thing that this trade is riding on is the dollar and it hopefully getting weak. If that does not happen, then Euro US dollar will most likely lose. If we do see a reversal in dollar strength, then that should hopefully work in my favor and go from there. So I'll update you as and when this kind of trade develops, and yeah, we'll see what happens. So, people, this is a follow on from Euro USD that we broke down, obviously, in the last section of the video. It is actually the next day now. So, what I want to quickly do is show you the position that I ended up taking. Did actually end up hitting my take profit at the initial target of 1 to 1. So, you can see that is the trade that happened. If we look on the FTMO dashboard, you can see that there's this green mark here on the deal map to show that I did take the position, and I did end up leaving a one lot runner. Now that runner was in profit, I've basically identified an area in the market where I think the price is going to drop, and with it being a counter trend position, that allows me to take the position actually risk free. So I want to quickly just break down the position I'm in, and then obviously I can show you my thought process. So you can see here we've almost got like a head and shoulder potential forming alongside the round number of 1.1 and also a 61 fib. So basically all I have done, which I've shown you, I've set a position here. I've got a 25 pip stop loss on this trade, and all I have done, the remaining profit on this position here, I have risked on the stop loss of this risk-free position. So if we play out what's currently happening, if I just do this, let's have a look, if it doesn't freeze. If we look what's currently happening, this is where we are at. So if I go onto the FTMO, you can see that my take profit on this position is $650 or 642, and my stop loss on the sell is 632, meaning if this buy or if the sell was to lose, the buy would cover it. If the sell wins, then I'm in a buy and a sell, so I will make money whichever way the direction of the market goes. So this is kind of a nice follow-on from yesterday's trade. I took $800 from the lower position, and then now I'm obviously running, 400 in the lower position, but we'll just kind of see what happens with this. In terms of the DXY and what I was looking at, there was a little bit of confluence at this level for this position for the euro US dollar, but it was mainly just the head and shoulders pattern that I saw. You can see the DXY is kind of retesting this lower structure here before potentially getting some strength, which would help my euro US dollar position. So that's kind of where I'm at the moment. I will update you as and when this position kind of plays out. It is currently Friday, so obviously everything hopefully should have played out by the end of the day. But if not, as mentioned, I will literally just update you when I have something to show. Yes, people, so this video has ended up going off in a little bit of a tangent. So I've got an update with euro US dollar, and I've got an update with another trade that I actually ended up taking today. So first thing, what I want to do is just go onto euro US dollar. So if we look at the deal map, where is it? Here, you can actually see that I closed this trade break even. Now, the reason for me closing that trade break even, it was more of an in the moment thing. So as I previously mentioned, I saw price coming down to kind of this kind of area. But I was more happy with this lower level. So what I ended up doing was closing the trade break even. And then following that, you can see this is where the market is now. So me closing the trade break even was a good decision. In the meantime, so we've still got that runner there now. The market is going to close in about 35 minutes. So that's something to take into consideration. But I've got one lot running on this trade now, 68 pips, running $670. So that's a nice hold over the weekend. What I want to do is break down another trade I took. So I said to the group that I was interested in the yen basket, which is basically like the DXY, but for the yen. Approach this 650 area, which was mainly a break retest of that area. Once price reached this zone, I basically started looking for longs on yen-based currencies. So I was hoping to buy other currencies against the yen. The best pair that I came up with was this position here. Main reason being we had a nice break and retest of this round number level with also a Fibonacci. So that's basically what I was looking at. So once the yen hit my area, I took a buy on Australian dollar yen. You can see by waiting for price to hit the zone, I ended up with a better entry. I had a 30 pip stop loss. And then what I actually did with this trade, due to the fact we was coming up to the weekend and trade was nearly moving, what I ended up doing was taking, as you can see, about $900, which I'll put on the screen now, from this position. Yes, if I'd have held the trade, I could have banked, $700, and then, kind of look to profit from a bigger move. But in all honesty, I was just happy taking the 1,000 from the position. So I'll put both of them on the screen. So euro US dollar as it stands is still open and will be going into next week, which is absolutely fine. I will remove my stop loss when it comes to market close, just so the spreads don't tag me out. And then next week, we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll get a risk-free short from the highs up here. Who knows? So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to end this video here. So it's a very good end to the week. We had euro US dollar win, and we had Australian dollar JPY win with a runner on euro US dollar. So nothing I can complain about at all when it comes to my trading week. I hope you've learned something from this video and how I use the correlations to take my trades. So yeah, any questions, drop them in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.